Hello, hello, hello. And as you can see, I'm still a little bit ill, still a bit nasally, still got a little bit of a cough going on. So we're going to go with another time lapse this week. And then hopefully next week we can get back on the toolbox. We can get back on some more recorded voiceover episodes. And I can sort of reconnect with you guys. It's been a weird couple of weeks. This cold or whatever I've got is stretched out quite a lot. I am immune compromised, as I say. I've got other ailments going on, and that does add to when I get a cold or whatever. It's a little bit worse, and it strings out a little bit more, and I am more susceptible to them. But here I am, nevertheless. I'm currently looking over Wilston Junction, simply because I'm not entirely happy with what's going on here. We've got invasion of the houses and industry from, I'm assuming, from here, and it's stretched down, or it's from here and it's gone over and it's attached itself to here and it's inside my building. So I'm gonna have to get the old asset out. Yeah, the houses. I'm gonna have to get the old asset out and put some posts up there and block that all out, because that's not very nice, is it? It's looking a bit ugly. I don't mind these little bits here actually, because they look like they're part of this box here that I built. That's not too bad. But there, and all this needs to go. It's looking quite active and down here at the moment now. We've got services running, we've got some freight coming in. It's looking pretty good. We've also got, have we got any freight parked up? Yeah, we have. We've got some freight in here as well, some food by the looks of things, and some commats, which is quite cool. Looking quite nice. It's looking quite busy down here and active, which is really nice. It's nice to see it all working. Do need to finish off this and get this line going as well at some point over there. But we are going to head back over to King's Cross and Pancras, and we're going to work on sort of, I reckon this is going to be 2 or 3, it's definitely going to be 2 because this is stage 2 today. It's definitely going to be at least 2 or 3 phases of me sort of getting all this kitted out around here and getting it finished off. I'm also toying with the idea of bending this away a little bit more and putting it up here, because what I've got here, if you have not noticed, I've put a freestyle platform. It's a freestyle cargo platform in, because you do have, I think it's King's Cross concrete plant is in here. So I'm thinking of putting that in, doing some sort of service bridge over the top of this, so that we've got a connection to the concrete plant, and having a freight terminal here and having concrete come in here, or commats and the, whatever it's called, the ballast or whatever it is being delivered in here, and getting that going. So I'm thinking of putting that in there, and I mean, it's kind of this shape. I mean, I've done quite well this shape. It bends off a little bit here, so maybe I'll bend it here and try and get the commats building in there. And so that's mainly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be filling this out. I also thought we might as well hook this up with this. We've got somewhere just here, so just about here, because we should be able to bend this away. It's kind of, let me just look at Google Maps. It's a little bit like that. It's kind of that. See, this is where I made this too long. This needs to be shorter, because this does connect to this, and in between this is Camden Road station. So I want to put Camden Road station in, and it's kind of to the right of Euston, so it's kind of here. We're going to put Camden Road in, and we're going to swing this up, and then underneath we do have the Northern Line that drops Camden. I think it's Camden Park, is it? Camden Town. Of course it's Camden Town. It's just south of the river here. The canal. Whatever it is. I'm not really sure. Anyway, we're going to put that here as well, and then sort out these bridges and this road and clean this up a little bit as well. That will come along at some point. So that's what we're mainly going to do today, is fill out this area a little bit, get this started, get the commats in, get some road in, get some connections in, stretch this track out a little bit, because again, this track kind of, when I find it, hold on, I'm a bit lost, comes out, goes under a bit of a tunnel here, some housing, then veers off to the left. Then we have an Kentish town, which we might fit in, because that's got Northern Line links and Thames link there, and then it swings off to the left, and it does end up at West Hampstead. So we do end up, where is it? Here. So this has got a swing, does connect to this one in the end. We've got another station here. This also connects to this, because this has a junction just after Camden Road or whatever it is, and that spins up and goes there, and then the next one sort of spins up, bends a bit higher, Kentish Town, where it is, and it swings up. There's another station somewhere here, and then that comes in here, and these cross over each other. So this is going to be a big old bend here. I'm not sure how I'm going to get all this in. Let's have a look. We might be rearranging some of these buildings by the looks of things, because this is getting a bit tight. Let's have another look. Let me just take another look at that. Oh, that does bend away. We might be all right, because that bends away, so we might be able to just get that in and bend it away. We'll see what we end up with, but that's for another day. I don't know why I'm getting carried away and overthinking that. Main thing is maybe getting the orientation ready today for this track to come around. Get the orientation ready here. Get the orientation ready with this. I might even just feed that straight in. We might do Camden Town, another little station here, and feed that straight in. We'll see. Again, another day. But that's the main plan today. I'm reasonably happy with this. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this, the continuation of this, because if I hit this, I don't think we're going to... This river's not really going to go over, so we might have to just full stop it here. Maybe build some sort of fake bridge or something at some point, and then carry on with the river the other side. I'm never going to have anything on it, really, anyway. I don't think I'm ever going to have any boats on it or anything, so I'm not overly bothered. It's just a shame. I couldn't get the track down quick enough to get it underneath this. As in real life, this kind of bends away, and this tunnel's here. But if I did the tunnel here, I couldn't get the track down enough this side, and the length of the tunnel wasn't long enough. And it's more about the railway sort of experience on this map more than anything else anyway. So it's more about the length of the tunnel. As always, I'm forever stumped about like bridges. Like I suggested on my London to Paris map that there's some building assets, and maybe I should build my own asset over this bridge. For now, I'm going to leave it like that. I might change it to more of an archy bridge just to give it a little bit more of a better look. I'm not really sure. A few arches maybe just here. Just changing this bit into here just to simulate that. But at the moment, I'm reasonably happy with that. At some point as well, I will change the track here. I might change it to a more of a high-speed sort of European or if not Japanese sort of track just to sort of highlight that it is the Eurostar kind of off to Stratford there. I'm going to leave these as they were. Another option was as well is to also change these because they're more concreted in the tracks at St Pancras International. But when they come out, a lot of them are normal up until a point, like normal sort of tracks all through here. And then I'm assuming they change at some point as they go in. But I'm reasonably happy with that. What I might do is just, what it will do for the Eurostar trains changing the track, it will just up the speed limit a little bit and allow them to get up to speed. Depending on, I mean, they're going to go, maybe we'll build Stratford International and then we'll turn them off. And maybe we'll just do a little turn back here for a couple of Eurostars that just kind of, because the Eurostar kind of swings like this and goes back under the Thames. So maybe we'll do that and just do a little turn back or something down here or something like that. Even we could do a little town, you know, build a little town here and have some passengers use it or something, just so it's used and it's there and it's simulating the job. We'll just have a couple of trains in there on the timetables mod, just coming in and out, so the platforms just look busy. Other than that, we'll have the services coming out of the left and the right of these platforms, and obviously we'll have a fair few services coming out of King's Cross as well. I put what I did for the roof. My station appears to be a lot wider. I'm assuming that's just the way the platforms go. It's also has something to do with the fact that I still like using two platforms side by side. I could have maybe had a better size for St Pancras, a better orientation for St Pancras, a little bit narrower maybe if I'd not bothered doing that. But it is what it is. I've also sort of doubled up here because some of the platforms are quite chunky as well. They are also, like the middle one, obviously these ones are sort of 400, this longest platform here is 420 meters long because I wanted to put one of the longer Eurostars there. And, you know, I had a look and it's sort of like the orientation. These are a minimum of 240, 320 because I wanted the option to put some longer and shorter services on there and I didn't want to restrict myself. And we've also got some shorter options here for some smaller ones. I'm not sure what services run on here yet. I've had a quick peek. I know the Thameslink, we've also got, that's another thing we've got to fit today, is coming off here is the Thameslink, and here the Thameslink drops down around about here underneath, and then there's a connection underground, and then you have the Thameslink underground sort of station around about here. We'll put that in as well today. I'll have a double check of that, and we'll put that in as well. We'll extend this off. We'll build this freight terminal, and we'll do that. I think that is what we'll get done, to be honest. I've kind of like, I had a plan of what I was going to get done before I started recording, and then I've sort of bolted things onto it. And I think as I've looked at it with you, it's kind of come to light what I wanted to get done today and what I wanted to try and finish off, just so it looks a little bit better and starts coming to life a little bit. Hopefully, I know there's no services that use this connection. There's no services from Watford through here. I don't believe anything sort of comes in on this track. I'm not sure if this is used more as a service track. I'm not really sure. In an ideal world, I guess like my logic suggests is that you'd have like a local service visit here. I mean, that's what if I was building, if this was my game and I was building something, I'd have like a, you know, like the London Overground service coming in here, using this bridge, coming onto this track and off up to Watford here. But I don't think it does. I think there's just services that come off, don't come off this, they come down from, what do you call it, thingamabob? Where are we? They come down from West Ham. What is this? West Hempstead. They come down from West Hempstead and come onto Camden Road and then onwards and off down that way. And that's all I can see, really. I think what we do have is maybe a couple of services that come off this way and go down here and go underneath. This needs changing. This orientation is not right because this needs to connect to this. So we need to change this a little bit and just swing that under. And then hope we still get, as far as I can see, I've lost my track now again. I've lost it on my map. Because I think, yeah, that comes over. So that will come over and bend. It bends a little bit here first. So that's where we can create a little bit more space. Comes over and then crosses. And then that comes underneath and just hooks up to that there. I've done my best with sort of the junction work here. It's kind of, it's a lot more tracks underground. This is actually one tunnel. But because I had the spaces here, I sort of made it as two because it comes out as one. So we've got a split in the middle of it. That's not accurate. I believe this is a one tunnel and it stays one tunnel. But when it comes out, the tracks are a little bit further apart. So obviously at some point the tunnel widens. With the restrictions of the game, I can't really do that within the game because it will just end up being very glitchy. If I put in maybe some sort of the ballast in between here, you could do that, but all you're going to end up with, yeah, see, it's going to glitch out because of the way that it narrows together and rejoins up there. So we're going to leave that as the way it is. That was the other option I was thinking about. It's just filling it in with some ballast, but that's not going to work on that. Anyway, I have blabbered on enough. What we're going to do is we're going to kick on and we'll see where we get, basically. Enjoy the episode. Thank you once again for all your support. And thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing, etc. I really do appreciate it. Let's get to that 1,000 subs. Let's crack on. Okay, I think that is about it for this episode. So you've probably noticed I've left some bits blank, but I managed to fit in the King's Cross concrete plant and connect the station. What I basically did, I was going to put a bridge there, but the bridge wasn't really happening. So I just put an underpass in there, and that seems to work. That's connected that all together quite nicely. So that's good. So we can have these quite spread out, but there's still... We can get the materials in there and get that going and get that linked into maybe London. I think London, has commats. Yes, so we can have that all going out of there at some point as well. Managed to bend this away, which was quite nice. Added a few trees here, extended that out, bent that away because the Eurostars HS1 kind of go. I mean, you've got a little bit of ugliness there, but I might sort that out a bit later on. But that kind of goes underneath and follows this track for a little while before it bends away. So we'll see where that goes at a later date. Managed to sort of play about with the river a little bit. There's a lot of buildings and everything here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get some nice modern assets and stick some buildings there. There's a few houses here as well. Or I'm going to I've also sort of used the road and de-owned a lot of it and let London kind of grow into this space and see what happens after that. And maybe just block out this and protect this area here and this area here. And it's the same with here. I've sort of built roads to kind of encourage, see what sort of growth we get out of London, see what's left in it, really. If it doesn't, then I'll put some assets there. I've left this bit pretty bare as well, simply because I've got to put the Northern Line in here somewhere as well for Camden Town. And then I'm toying with the idea of just plopping Camden as a small town on there once we've finished off this track here. I'm not entirely happy with this bend. That's a bit sharp. I might smooth that out a little bit, but we have got to get this up to here at some point, and there's some bridge work and grade separated junction work here and another station we've got to add there as well at some point, which is where this goes as well. This is a bit further away, this junction. This is the Thames link. This is a bit further away. This should all come left a little bit, really, but because of the slope and everything, and because I had switches and bits and bobs, I moved it to the right a little bit. And I also wanted this platform to be a bit longer than kind of what it looks like in the photos. So what I've done is I've moved it to the right a little bit and had it here, but it looks okay. I think it looks all right. We might get rid of some of this grass, but I think it looks pretty good at the moment. I'm reasonably happy with that. This normally sort of, you see a little bit more of this and it goes underground here. But we've put it there just to be on the safe side. Put a little bit of curve on it. There's a little bit of curve on it. A few trees and bits and bobs here. But we'll wait until we build this up and build this track out there before we lay any of that. Added some of the connections, some of the road, bridges and tunnels and bits and bobs there, just to encourage a little bit of building. If I do plot maybe Camden here, that might grow down here a little bit. We'll just put some trees here and just finish that off as the town grows, as I normally do. This is going to all have to move, I guess. This is my sort of turn back for the Met, I think, and Circle lines and District as well, I believe. I'm not sure. And that's all going to have to move. That was me playing about with sort of submerging a station in. And it's kind of there's an old disused station, so I was just messing about with that a little bit there and putting that in. But that'll have to move, and I'll do that off camera at some point, and we'll move that in our own time and get these more realigned, because we've also got this, because I think this Metro link does sort of come and bend here as well. So this will all come in a little bit, I guess, and maybe bend here. The station's no longer used, but the trains do pass through it. So we'll simulate that and we'll get that on as well. That's King's Cross and Pancras, obviously. I used the in the previous episode, I used the pre-placeable asset and just linked up the tracks. I think it's quite nice. I wanted to use something that was really, really, really close, so we managed to get that in, and I think that really looks nice. As for sort of the St Pancras side, the international side, even though it's called London Amex, I've used a combination of the modern arch roof for the first part, some standard sort of old big buildings just surround it. I might extend those down there. I'm undecided, and I've used the London Euston flat roof for that. I should have said that at the start, but I didn't. But it looks okay. Looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. I just like to see a bit, as I say, a little bit of growth this way, just to fill out this, because this is all buildings and houses. If it doesn't grow too much, like I said, what we'll do is over time is I'll probably just add some modern buildings in there as we grow. There's still a fair bit of work to go here, to move this off here, to get these tracks going, and we can sort of start working on this bit the other side as well. But it's all coming together quite well. I'm quite happy with it. It's nice to have the sort of the 4 major sort of London stations in play now. So we'll see. I'm probably going to do one more episode on this for next week. And then we might, I'm toying over here, we might sort of extend this, get some stations going, or I'll extend one of these, and maybe we'll get the connections. Maybe what a nice idea might be to do, actually, what I've been meaning to do, and it's been not bugging me, but it's getting West Hempstead connected up here and finishing off these connections to West Hempstead and getting a few stations in between here. And then as we go off with this track here, I know we've got the Arsenal football ground, the Emirates, is somewhere around here. So maybe we'll look into adding that as well at some point. It'd be nice to have a couple of different stadiums there. I think it's around about here somewhere. So we'll add that as well, just to have a little bit more points of interest and a little bit more eye candy. I know it looks a bit meh here at the moment. I'm in and ahhing, like I said, do I let London grow into it, then plot Camden, and then do some asset work after? I'll decide at a later date, but I'm reasonably happy. I'm really happy with the shape. That was the main thing for this. Getting the shape right and getting a nice bit of eye candy as we're going sort of across here. I'll drop some sort of truck assets as well to make it look like a bit busy, like something's going on. But reasonably happy. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully we'll have some toolbox next week. Hopefully my voice and myself, and I'm a little bit less groggy looking. We can get some toolbox going again, get me back on camera, and we can get back onto that. But enjoy the episode. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Let's hit that 1,000. Take care, guys.